Hey Taurus, welcome to July, welcome to Cancer season. We have quite the agenda this month. Yep, lots of stuff happening for everybody, and the eclipses are going to create a portal, and the portal is like an opening, and that opening has a vacuum. And the way that I've been describing it in some of the other videos is like, right now, because I'm filming this before the 1st, the tides have receded because Neptune is in retrograde, and come the 1st, it is going to feel like the floodgates have been opened, and there'll be a resurgence of energy. And then we have the total solar eclipse on the 2nd. And, excuse me. Thank you. Ooh. The total solar eclipse for you as an earth sign is going to feel more comfortable than it will for air signs and fire signs. Earth signs and the water signs are familiar with how to navigate in the dark. You guys are used to being in your nature is just far more receptive than some of the air and the fire signs. That's what makes, everything so complementary to one another, is that we have the balance, and the eclipses are specifically about balance. And it's going to feel like having to step into a dark room, which shouldn't feel all that uncomfortable because you're used to being in the body. And what I mean by that is, when the lights go out, you will immediately and instinctually turn on your other senses. Some of the other signs don't have that relationship to their body in such a way that that's going to be very easy. So just know that you kind of have, you Virgo, Capricorn, Pisces, Cancer, Scorpio, you all have a leg up on the rest of us for that reason. And then we have the partial lunar eclipse on the 16th, and that is the ripple effect of the total solar eclipse. So it's like the change is going to happen, but we don't get to necessarily see everything. We just have this sensation that things have changed, and we're waiting to see the effects of that ripple into our realities. And then with the partial lunar eclipse, because this change has occurred, something has to go. Something has to go. And it will be making peace with a very small yet influential experience. There'll be a kind of letting go, and I'm not saying that it has to do with family members or anything like that. What I kind of mean is, like, if you've ever gotten a splinter is this tiny little piece of wood under your skin. But if you've ever felt a splinter, you might as well cut your hand with a knife or something. So it will be small, but it will be influential. Okay? I have created on my website something called an astromap. I didn't get as many people checking them out last month, and I thought that I would take the opportunity to explain what the astromaps are, because I take a lot of time to put them together for each of the signs. And it is a practical guide to integrating astrology into your month. And it's meant and designed to help you navigate certain changes and develop a new type of familiarity with yourself, with your experiences, and help sort of create a nice holistic approach to your existence, frankly. So I see that your cards do not want to come out. Excuse me. It's going to shift here so I can get a little more comfortable. It's weird because I'm not on my laptop, so I keep wanting to look at the screen, and I know that that's not where you are. It's like the light over here. It's still really warm. Hang on. I'm going to put my hat back on. It's like burning my head, and as you can see, I'm quite flush. So It's okay. I love being outside. I normally run very cold because I have kidney yang deficiency. And so being warm it's a welcome experience. Yeah, I don't know why your cards don't really want to come out, but the eclipse is going to take place along your 3rd and your 9th houses. 3rd house is of your communication. It is about marketing. It is about how you say, well, everything. How do you express your needs? How do you ask for help? How do you say what you want? How do you speak to others? How do you speak to yourself? Those kind of things come up in the 3rd house. It is a good time to share your feelings. Okay? That's how I see your 3rd house of Cancer playing a theme for you this month. It's like you need to communicate your feelings. You need to say how you feel about certain things. You need to get that out. And your feelings may be so undeniably strong that I don't think you'll be able to not do that. Thank you. Yeah. 6 of Cups, 9 of Cups in reverse. Feelings. Feelings. I have no idea what that song even is. If you know, you can comment below. But yes, communication with a mother figure, communicating in a more nurturing style, communicating with your feminine qualities, love, sharing the love. Okay, I can see that too. 9th house is about your higher learning. It is about travel. It is about philosophy and education and spirituality and worldly, lofty pursuits. And dare I say, this to me seems more like, where are you going? Have you been thinking about where you're headed, where your future is? Are you thinking enough out? Are you planning enough? And what do you really need to help get you there? Do you need to go back to school? Do you need to have more education? Do you need more training? Do you need to travel? Do you need to relocate? Do you need to move? Where are you? Okay? We know that you're a very independent sign, and we know that you can get the work done, and that we can trust you to do that, and that we are going to get a very disciplined, and maybe not even disciplined, just a reliable amount of effort from you. We know that. We know that you're going to do good work. What we don't know is what is going on in here. What is going on in here? And Cancer season is not going to just let the waves wash over you. If you're having troublesome experiences, if you're having painful experiences, you know, the ocean comes to heal. That salt water does have a healing effect, but it kind of burns. It can burn on a fresh wound. 7 of Cups, more feelings. Excuse me, I have to move because I'm working over here. Okay. The bugs. I don't want to kill them. I just need them to respect my space. Maybe that's what you're doing. You want people to respect your space. We don't know that you need it. Okay? We didn't know that we were in it. So maybe you just need to communicate that. Just saying. Just saying. Yeah. So 9th house. How are you taking an assertive approach? How are you taking a very practical approach? What is the structure of the approach that you need to take towards the development of your future? Okay? And if you may have to look back before you can look forward. And if that's the case, and you need to know where you were to know where you're going, which is totally fine. I commend that and I recommend it. as a life coach, absolutely should always be just circle back for a moment and then use that to help bring you forward. You may have to look back to about January to see what sort of things have progressed in specific areas, and by that I mean your education and your learning and your experience and your travel and your sense of spirituality and your faith and your connection to something greater than you. Those particular things have been evolving since January, and you just need to check in on your relationship to that particular process. Are you investing in it enough? And I don't want to take up too much more time than that to go over the astrology. So check out your astro map. It's free. Guided Metanoia, METANOIA. Definitely check out the website for the more detailed description for your month ahead. Out on the table, we have the 6 of Cups upright, 9 of Cups reversed, and the 7 of Cups upright. Lots of feelings. Lots of feelings. 6 of Cups speaks to having it's feelings of nostalgia. It's a remembrance of a time when things were simpler, things were easier, things had a greater innocence about them. It could speak to an actual reunion with someone from your past. But this to me feels like reflection, reflecting back. 9 of Cups in reverse, and this has been coming up for a few of the other signs. I believe Aries and Sagittarius also had these. I had the 9 of Cups in reverse. Maybe it wasn't Aries. I'm remembering Aries cards being all upright. Sorry, I can't remember. But I believe Sagittarius. Whatever. There's another sign. Sorry, I can't remember who it is. 9 of Cups in reverse is very much about leaving behind the things that don't really fulfill you, which you've kind of gone through the process of weeding those things out. But this is about no more temporary fixes. No more temporary fixes. You want stability, you want consistency, you want reciprocity, you want it all. I want it all, oh yeah. I have no idea. That's from a Broadway show and I don't know what it was. But I know that I did a review with several other singers and they were doing that particular number. I want the whole female experience in a ball. I want it all. So cheesy. Because I didn't sing it, so I don't exactly remember how it goes, but it's something like that. And then we have the 7 of Cups, which is like, we move through from the 6 of Cups to the 7 of Cups. There is a sense of maturation. There is a sense of development. But the 7 of Cups is an evaluating experience. It's like, what really makes me happy? Is it going to be more money? Is it going to be a certain kind of relationship? Is it going to be power? Do I need a greater connection to my religion? Is it about, okay, sorry about that, Taurus. So, yeah, all up in the feels. Needing to communicate how you feel, where you're at, maybe even what you think has upended. And I encourage you to concentrate on where you need to go from here. It'll help to be more productive. It'll help to keep you in alignment with what you can control, which is, again, coming back to the awareness of what your feelings are and what they're trying to communicate. And then it's about making a very decisive plan and moving towards that. And you guys are very good at that. You guys are very good at being patient and not just practical, but Your patience allows you to move at such a pace that everything is taken care of, and that by the time you reach that destination, you know, there are no loose ends. I don't think these cards want to come out. I might just have to keep you with your cards. Let me see if I can't just get a clear shuffle. Sorry if that's really loud. That's not a thing that I do. I mean, there's like dirt on it. Some people go like, how do you, you know, I've had friends that have asked me like, how do you clean your cards? I'm like, what do you, like with a cloth? But I know what they mean. And yes, I use sound, like clap, clap, clap. Maybe blowing on them. Ooh, no, that's way too many cards now. Can I have 2 more cards for Taurus, please? Thank you. Okay, so there's some kind of decision that needs to be made. I don't think the timing will quite come to call during July, but I think that you know that something has to change, and that you're deliberating on what exactly that is, and maybe even how can that rebirth look for you. I just don't think you're entirely ready to step into it just yet. Cool. But a certain kind of message isn't always the right way to describe a page. It's the Page of Wands, but there is a certain, there will be an experience. It could even be a person, a young person, maybe kind of see that as being in the teenage years, 16, 17, 18 even, but I think they'll look young. Like if they're 18, they may look younger than that. This person could have light hair, light eyes, but this person could very well present a new way of moving forward. They could remind you of a responsibility that you have somehow accidentally disconnected from. But there is a certain task even that's going to be required of you. This person will somehow present it or bring it in. And what happens then, please? Stop. There's like ants everywhere. It's a good crack, sorry. Okay. It's there, I just gotta get it right. Okay, remember what I said earlier about the 5 of Cups, there being a time where you were kind of stuck in this moment where you see this situation, possibly with 3 people, possibly just a time when these other, it's definitely a dynamic of 3 though, okay? When the situation was just like nobody was working together and it was taking its toll on everybody, and just a sense of, you know, a time that had been so beautiful and so celebrated, and it had come to sort of this unexpected and kind of like almost tragic experience. And you can either, excuse me, working here, thank you. You can either, you know, stand, what this card shows is like you can stand and observe only the things that aren't working, or you can adjust your perspective and look at the things that are working. And with it being in the reverse, I think I'll take that as a good sign, that it's like moving on from doing everything that you need to, that you possibly can do to move away from that kind of energy. Wow, 5 of Cups and then 5 of Staffs. And there is just an immense amount of internal conflict about it. So yeah, there is going to be like the Judgment in reverse and 2 of Pentacles. It's like, you know that a decision has to be made, but like I really just get this feeling like you don't want to. You don't want to make it. You're like avoiding it almost. But I think you're vacillating between, do I stay stuck in the past and do I stay with what isn't working as opposed to looking at what is working? Or do I, you know, do I come out of that, or do I stay stuck in the conflict of it? So that's what I see for you. And that's a pretty tough reading, and I just get the sort of life lesson. I think that's what I might even call your video, would be like a life lesson. There's a very important life lesson that is evolving to a very particular place, and it's like you've got to pick what way this portal is going to move you towards. I don't see the 2 of Wands, like as in you have a path to choose, but there is very much that vibe here, and things are serious, things are heavy, and sorry, there's something on me. Chiron in your 12th house, and it's heavy. It's heavy. It feels very heavy. But come on, seriously, don't. Oh, I think it's a mosquito. Y'all better quit. I almost wish I had the words for you, because I think like you've been trying to be patient with it this whole time. Stop. Come on. It's not even late yet. Like, that happened to me the other day. It's tapping along the mosquitoes here are just so brutal. I gotta get inside and like put something on, some citronella oil. I see that this has got you all in the feels, and there is this sense of wanting to move away from ruminating, and yet feeling a sense of internal conflict. And I think that Cancer season is going, this is the real work. Excuse me. Come on. Sorry. So, let's pull an oracle card for you during this important and influential time. I'm not saying that you are not going to have good experiences. Please don't think that, because the 6 of Cups does talk about a reunion. It does talk about like a recapturing of a very fond emotional experience. And then The Seven of Cups is just as wondrous. It has a very illusionary quality. So I'm not saying you're not going to have any good experiences at all. I'm simply saying that particular storyline is for someone, and I get the depth of what is occurring. There's a very important decision. There's a very important decision that has to come about something you spent a long time investing in, and it's something about how, like a moving on almost. Can I have an oracle card, please, for Taurus for July? Oh. Wow. Receptivity. Am I supposed to censor that? My bad. My bad. Receptivity. Okay, let's read that for you. Let's find it first. Stop, mosquito. Queen of Water, which is Cancer season. I like it. Literally under my arm, driving me crazy. Sorry. Receptivity represents the feminine, receptive quality of water and of the emotions. Her arms are extended upwards to receive, and she is completely immersed in the water. She has no head, no busy and aggressive mind to hinder her pure receptivity. And as she is filled, she is continuously emptying herself, overflowing and receiving more. The lotus pattern or matrix that emerges from her represents the perfect harmony of the universe that becomes apparent when we are in tune with it. The Queen of Water brings a time of unboundedness and gratitude for whatever life brings without any expectations or demands. Neither duty nor thought of merit or reward are important. Sensitivity, intuition, and compassion are the qualities that shine forth now, dissolving all the obstacles that keep us separate from each other and from the whole. Okay. Well, that's what all those feelings are about, and connecting with them and connecting with others. Communicating them. Yes, communicate your feelings. Okay? Communicate your feelings. Ay, the mosquitoes. I love you guys. Check out your astro maps, please. Like the video if you enjoyed it, and if it resonates with you, subscribe. Feel free to share. And I'll see you guys in August. Bye.